If you think of streetwear, at some point you'll probably think of Bape, and if you think of Bape, undoubtedly you'll think of the founder, Nigo. He's someone that's had tremendous influence on streetwear, and last year, Nike and Nigo teamed up for their first collaboration ever on the often forgotten Air Force 3, and this year they're back at it again with 2 pairs of Air Force 3 lows, and this time it's inspired by his love for old school hip hop. Nigo, Nike Air Force 3 low, black and white. Now, both these shoes dropped on April 24th for $150 in the United States. The black pair was a sneakers drop, so a more wide and general release. The white and gold pair, this one only dropped at like select retailers, so a bit harder to get. And the Air Force 3, if you didn't know, it dropped first originally back in 1988. It's one of the more kind of obscure, forgotten shoes that Nike doesn't bring back too often, but Nigo did debut his first collaboration with Nike on the Air Force 3, and he's had I think at least 2 now, not including these. But first impressions of this shoe, or of these shoes, Air Force 3 shape, I think, at least the low cut version anyway, I don't like it as much as the Air Force 1s. I think the Air Force 1s are just so classic, so timeless. The Air Force 3 just feels a bit too... there's a bit too much. Like if it was even lower and slightly less chunky, I think I would like it more, but the boldness and the retroness of this shoe is probably what is appealing about it. And in terms of the colorway, I love black on black shoes, white on white shoes, you can never go wrong. One thing I will say is I don't love too much gold on sneakers, so this white and gold combination, I don't like it as much as this black on white shoe. So if I had to choose out of these two, definitely going with the black. Both very clean colorways, and the kind of flashy hip hop type of aesthetic really does shine through pretty clearly. And the materials on the shoe, it is pretty similar across the white and black colorway. On the base layer, it is pretty standard leather, nothing too special. Now on the mudguard area, on the overlays, it is slightly different. So on the black pair, that has this kind of faux lizard skin texture to it, and it does feel pretty thin, so it's not like super thick, and you'll see that wrapping all the way around the heel counter there. And on the white pair, it is more like that faux crocodile skin type of aesthetic. And that overlay actually feels a little bit thicker than the black pair, but it's not like super premium or anything. And then on the ankle collar for both pairs, you get this kind of corduroy fabric material that wraps around. So just quite a few things going on here. And then moving up the tongue, on the right shoe of each pair, you will see this Nike branding. 1988 is when the Air Force 3 first dropped, and you'll see this turntable disc thing, or half of it at least. Usually for a general release Air Force 3, you'll just see Air Force. That you will see on the right pair with the half a basketball there. I personally really like this Air Force branding. It's bold, it's out there, it's loud, just retro. It reminds me of the 80s and 90s. A fantastic, beautiful time in history. So yeah, I've always liked that Air Force 3 tongue. And of course, the most distinct thing about these shoes are the bling, or like the chains that come with the shoe. So on the left pair of each, you'll get this golden Nike branded chain. On the right pair, you'll get Nigo's branding, and on sneakers, it says it's like heavy set. In person, it is not heavy set. It feels pretty plasticky. It does not feel like super premium or anything. Can't expect that. Now, usually I take all like chains or like hang tags off my shoes when I actually wear it, but for the B-roll for this, it is like the most distinct thing about this shoe. It's clearly part of the storytelling. I left it on just to give you an idea of what it would look like. But in general, I don't like how it looks. It is just too much. Now, in terms of extra laces, the black pair, the one that I have up here, this actually is the laces that come as extras. So out of the box, it is just black laces, but it does come with one extra set of white laces. For the white pair though, it is like 2 off-white or white laces. So there's no real like distinction or contrast there. Kind of interesting or peculiar that they did that. I would have thought for the white pair, they gave you black extra laces, but nope. And out of these extra laces, I think the black on black looks better. The white on white looks fine the way it is. It's not like they gave us black laces to go with these. So yeah, I think just go all out, black on black, white on white. Now, one thing I think they missed an opportunity on is maybe do something more crazy with the lace tips. This feels a bit too plain, a bit too nonchalant with the overall type of boldness that the shoe is going for. And then wrapping around the booty of the shoe, again, just very flashy type of aesthetic. On the right pair, you will get Nigo branding, which says Nigo Force, in silver for the black pair. On the left shoe, you'll just get Nike branding, and it is gold for the white shoe. Again, just to the touch, kind of feels just like plastic, nothing too premium there. So yeah, very, very flashy, very bold, very out there. Now in terms of cushioning, the Air Force 3 does come with a polyurethane midsole that is housed within like a rubber cupsole, and it does feature a full-length Nike Air. This is a shoe that came out back in 1988, so don't expect the tech specs to be super advanced and comfort-wise under your feet. Some people might find this comfortable. I think it is an upgrade over the Air Force Ones, but I just still feel like it feels too chunky, like very boxy, just it doesn't feel too pleasant on my feet. You never really like forget that you're wearing this particular shoe. Like some shoes that are so comfortable, you kind of forget you're wearing it. For this, you're kind of just reminded that you're wearing the Air Force 3. In terms of padding around like the inside of your feet though, it feels really nice. Very sufficient ankle collar padding here. The tongue is nice and smooth, so nothing that'll cut into your ankles if you happen to wear low ankle socks or like no-show socks if you don't have any respect for yourself. And in terms of the outsole, you get this familiar concentric circle pattern that actually originated on the Air Force Ones. That was meant so basketball players could pivot more easily, but the bottom half looks slightly different than like an Air Force One that more people would probably be more familiar with. So you get this bold Nike branding on the cutout here. And the insole of the right shoe, you will get this Air Force 3 branding here, very funky. On the left shoe here, just gold Nike branding. Quality of these insoles are just, yeah, hot trash. Now on the black pair, the left shoe, it is Nike branded as well, but it matches the color, just more monochrome, white and black there. And the box of the shoe, just absolutely love it. So old school, so bold. Get Nigo branding on the side here, Air Force 3 on the other side. And on the inside, Nike and Nigo branded paper too. And what I love is this wood kind of aesthetic on the lid inside. Love that. This shoe also comes with this like golden pin as well. Also gives you, this is not a sticker, it's like the whole piece itself and this very hip-hop inspired lettering. And in terms of sizing overall, I am a wide and flat footer. I would definitely recommend you just sticking true to size, even if you have wide and flat feet. I think if you went up half a size, yeah, there would just be too much heel slippage. Definitely stick true to size. If you don't have wide and flat feet, you may even be able to go down half a size, but can't really tell you for sure. And that brings the total sole score of the Nigo Nike Air Force 3 Low black and white colorway to 38 out of 50. Pretty decent score compared to other collaborations. And first set is colorway. I'll just go off the black colorway because I like this slightly better. So that's the score I'm gonna go with. I am a black sneaker lover, so this black on black colorway, yeah, it's really nice. There's no gold here, which I actually kind of prefer with the black shoe. Can't really go wrong. It's nothing too like insanely exciting, but it just works. It is a tried and true formula. If you love black sneakers, can't really go wrong with this. In terms of materials, it's nothing like super premium, but it is not as bad as like a general release like Air Force One. The Follows the skin on the black pair is actually pretty thin and feels kind of flimsy, so that is not the best. Yeah, overall, it's okay materials, about what you would expect for a Nike shoe, not like super premium. And in terms of the comfort, yeah, for me, it's just too bricky. Like, is okay, is decent. I think some people might find it comfortable because the way it kind of hugs your feet, the padding all around inside the feet feels pretty good. Under it, if you've worn like modern day shoes with much better cushioning and like a lot of weight savings, I feel like this just is a bit too chunky to be considered too comfortable. And in terms of the versatility of this shoe, the shape of the Air Force 3 Low, I think it's decently wearable. It's not like too athletic looking, not as good as the Air Force Ones, of course, that is timeless. And in terms of wearability of the colorway, the black pair, super wearable, white pair, pretty wearable as well, but the gold might be the only thing that's a bit too much for some people, especially this gold shiny booty tab. Yeah, that is just right out there, but in general, pretty wearable colorways. In terms of the storytelling, I like it. The 80s hip-hop influence and music influence really shines through, with the chains on the shoe itself, with the custom branded tongue, as well as the insoles of the shoe and the booty of the shoe as well, with Nigo's branding and the extras that they throw in there. I think they clearly put in the effort to kind of highlight the influence that old school hip hop has had on Nigo himself. The Air Force 3, low or high, probably is not anywhere near my favorite shoes ever, but I really do like when Nike brings out some obscure and kind of forgotten models from their archives, and teaming up with someone with as much influence and credibility as Nigo, I think was a really smart idea. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Nigo Nike Air Force 3 Low white and black. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.